Hi Sag, this is going to be your mid-February reading. It's good primarily for Sun, Rising, Moon, Venus, or Mercury placement of Sagittarius. I follow tropical astrology. It could resonate though anywhere where you have Sag in your natal chart, so you'd be open-minded about that. It's a general reading though, so it might not resonate with everyone that watches. If it doesn't resonate for you, Sagittarius, try watching readings on this channel for any other part of your natal chart. You can find the messages that you need when you watch readings for other parts of your chart as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me or check out my healing, shadow work, manifestation, astrology, or human design services, that's all on my website, and the link to that is in the description below. If you're new, welcome to Soma Chandra Tarot. Subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for your sign. Sag, on Soma Chandra Libra, my other channel, I'm going to post a love message for you on the 9th. So check out that channel for love messages. This is a general overview and forecast for the middle of the month, and you can apply it to any part of your life that you think it resonates for. I do think that you guys are going to be having some power struggles in the middle of the month because I have the Emperor in reverse and the Five of Swords. Some of you need to stand up and challenge arbitrary authority. Make sure you're being logical. Make sure you're being practical. You could be dealing with an Aries that's pissing you off, challenging the system maybe. Keep in mind you can only control yourself and not others, but someone that thinks they're in charge of you might be kind of pissing you off. Because I have the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant here, this could be family or maybe at work. I do have power struggles here. What came out of the Life Coaching Oracle deck for you? First card that came out was 57, old habits. An old habit may be keeping you from moving forward. Do you have any old habits that you would consider bad habits? This, in the middle of the month, they may rear their head. Watch out, identify those habits. They may be keeping you from moving forward. Also 41, 4 + 1 = 5, and we had that Five of Swords power struggle. You may be involved in a power struggle between 2 or more people. Well, you guys handle power struggles really well because you're very easygoing. You're the mutable fire sign. You laugh things off. You usually come up with very creative solutions right up until people realize, wait, they're happy-go-lucky and ruled by Jupiter, but they have a blowtorch? Yeah, that's because they're a fire sign. You may have to pull out the blowtorch and remind people that you are a fire sign. But also the journey. You're learning that every challenge you face has a hidden gift. So I think old habits is just standing by itself. With these power struggles, if you make note of them, you may have a bad habit that leads to power struggles with someone. It's actually meant to challenge you in a way that if you face it, there will be a hidden gift inside of this, even a hidden lesson. I think you may need to remind someone around you that you're having a power struggle with, that something they oppose about you, there's a gift that they are not seeing. Yeah, your big challenge right now, Sag, is generosity. Giving from the heart with no strings attached is what's needed right now. Do not be generous with any other part of yourself at the middle of the month other than just giving from the heart. You do not need to give monetarily. Do not be a doormat. Do not be a walking ATM. You might have been very, very giving. But this week, the middle of the month, you just may be challenged. So make sure you give from the heart and be generous, but with no strings attached. That's all that's necessary right now. Yeah, watch out for people attaching strings to things that they give you too. Watch out for scorekeeping. Also, natural born leader. You were born to lead others. It's part of your life path. Yeah, the mutable sign that can step into the cardinal energy. Some of you are about to take the lead in a very big way. I think that what came out of the Halloween Oracle deck also to highlight something deeper happening for you in the middle of the month, I think it has to do with this Emperor in reverse power struggle energy. Winter, the sacredness of pausing, and vampire, emotional intelligence. I think that the middle of the month you may be somewhat paused. This may happen in a relationship. I feel like you will be having a reflective moment mid-February where you begin to examine your own emotional intelligence and whether or not you've had people taking advantage of you in some way. That's why giving from the heart with no strings attached, I think, is something that is a catalyst or a sticking point for you. I think other people have been taking advantage of you. You may have some of those relationships on pause. I do see that something in your environment is on pause. It's going to help you improve your own emotional IQ, and it may make you realize that there is someone or several people around you taking advantage of you in some way. How can you be giving without it breaking your own emotional bank, your spiritual bank, your literal bank? Are there being strings attached? Someone might be really trying to give you a hard time about that. And with the 10 of Pentacles underneath that, there could be quite a bit. Human design activations. If you want to know more about human design, I'll put links to what human design is and where to download your own human design chart in the description below. You need your birth data because it involves astrology, okay? You have two crosses, two destinies coming out. The incarnation cross of uncertainty and endeavor. Actually, endeavor came out first. Interesting imagery. So with the cross of uncertainty, this is activating line 14 in your body, which refers to abundance. It's activating line 8, which is about who you are as a sovereign individual. It's a very spirited energy with line 55, and it's an intimate energy. You're putting a lot of work into something, Sag, but the final destination and outcome and the resources you have available may be ever changing and ever flowing. There's interesting themes of wealth or poverty that come into play with the cross of uncertainty. This cross's highest potential is to realize that regardless of wealth or poverty, one can always be satisfied with what they have. You may be struggling to be satisfied in some way, especially with material gain. So it's like, what can you really be happy with? Even if it's nothing, even if it's everything. The cross of uncertainty is about acquiring power as well. This cross is named after Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which states that one can never truly know the position or speed of something, thus preventing the prediction of an outcome. There's a lot of uncertainty for you, and this may do with sovereignty and individuality surrounding abundance. Some of you may be trying to break away from a greater whole and gain more personal freedom in regards to money. Yeah. So this name fits the cross of uncertainty because the power and resources of this cross are mutative and don't follow a plan. It cannot be predicted, and it's transformative. Is somebody effing with your money? Is money uncertain for you? Watch out doing cryptocurrency, playing the stocks. There is a lot of uncertainty for you at this time. This may play out in a very intimate way in an intimate relationship, but I also see that you are working hard towards something despite the uncertainty of it. There's a lot of depth and control and drive when the cross of endeavor hits you, and it is about beginnings as well. This is a very action-oriented cross, and those in this cross can pull from deep within themselves to find whatever resource they need to drive their ventures. You may gain and lose resources over and over and over and over again. If you lose a resource, you'll have to find another one here. This could be playing out at work as well, Sag. But you'll be able to find what you need deep within to drive you. If someone with this cross crosses your path, be aware of themes of entrepreneurship, work, resourcefulness. Also, anti-establishment may arise. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I think you want to break some rules. And I think that's why the power struggles are going to happen. I also think people may be changing the rules and changing the resources on you. I could say a lot about this. I should do downloads just for human design alone. Take the lead and take a minute to see what your emotional intelligence may come into play with all of that. And I suspect that could be going down if any of you may be going through a divorce or you're separating from something in some way. Some of you are thinking about working for yourself. In a role of leadership, I see something to do with distribution and what resources you have in a work environment as well. But the overall reason for the reading that's coming out at the center of everything is the King of Wands in reverse. Well, that's your energy, but you could have another fire sign in focus for you. The challenge is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you, if this is you, you're having a hard time seeing a grand vision here. You're having a hard time taking the lead. You may feel as though you're dealing with a person that displays momentary strength of character and power, but is not consistent, or you yourself may be inconsistent. You may be stepping out of a position of leadership in some way. Some of you are dealing with a player. You could be dealing with an Aries. It's just being a giant pain in the ass with you right now, or they lack in vitality. You may feel that you lack in vitality at this time. With the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this is the catalyst or the challenge. Don't expect perfection out of yourself or anyone else. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Work smart as well as hard. Somebody is going in circles. Someone may be feeling like they're not able to move forward or be as productive as they'd like to be. It's a slow moving energy. Try to be consistent, okay? You may have a hard time, someone's having a hard time stepping outside of a comfort zone as well, and that could be you or someone that you're dealing with. This King of Wands is at the center of everything. Some of you have decided you don't want to put work into something anymore because you just don't see the vision. You just don't. With this person or you yourself, the deep past that's affecting you right now, deep past could be anywhere from your childhood to about 2 to 5 years ago, I guess. Depends on what part of your deep past. The Knight of Cups in reverse to the Hermit. Some of you were dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or perhaps a Virgo. You may have that in your chart. I have 2 Knights on the table, deep past and your thoughts. The Knights are here, but they're in reverse, so an inconsistent energy. Something from your deep past will be affecting you right now. Actually, 3 Knights, and they're all in reverse. You might have been overly idealistic in a situation in the past. You might have over-romanticized something. You might have, once the honeymoon phase ended, something just wasn't what you thought it was. You withdrew and you thought a lot about that. The knowledge that you gained from this time in your life will be helpful in this scenario. You also could have been with a water sign or a Virgo that was just very pouty, tantrumy, and withdrew from you a lot, or you withdrew from them. Let the love back in. You can recapture this. The Knight of Cups has not given up on love. It pours its heart into something, and it's idealistic in a positive way. You've learned your lessons. You can appropriately use this Knight of Cups energy. He can be a dangerous knight because he writes a romance novel. Well, we want to write a romance novel in life, in many parts of our life, but right up until something just isn't what it thought it was. I don't think you're going to repeat this lesson again. I think you learned from it, Sagittarius. Okay, that's affecting you right now. Take that as it resonates. Recent past and deep within. The 9 of Cups in reverse, but the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you may have been somewhat indulgent in some way, especially with the King of Wands in reverse, which is very much instant gratification, entertain me in the moment, but doesn't have a strategic, passionate, sustaining energy. Some of you may have been indulgent to the point where it affected your spending abilities or your bank account. You will recover from this, and you're trying to overcome indulgences and get out of the red and into the black financially. Others of you are recovering from a spiritual impoverishment in some way and learning how to have inner gratitude. Watch out for instant gratification, though. If a situation didn't make you as happy as it could have, I do think you are freeing yourself from this. What you're thinking about in your advice from Spirit this week, Sag, is the Knight of Wands in reverse and the 7 of Wands. Okay, I see a frustrated, pent-up energy. When I'm reading for Sagittarius, I know that this Knight of Wands in the reverse pisses you off. You guys got to go. You got to go, go, go. I think that you would like to be rebellious in a situation. I think that you would like to passionately move forward in some way. I think your energy feels frustrated and somewhat stifled. Watch your temper with the King of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Also, if anyone has been coming at you with sporadic but passionate energy, you're going to have to tell them, please come at me in a more consistent way because this is going nowhere and I'm not happy. I've thought a lot about it. Don't bullshit me or yourself. You may have to say that to somebody. I also get the sense that you want to have a lot of drive this week. This may happen for you a lot at work. This is going to be the week that literally everybody comes at you to solve their problems and fix their shit because they know that you endeavor. And they're like, we don't know what's going on. And you're like, yeah, neither do I. Our resources are up in the air. There's a lot of uncertainty. Jesus Christ, I can't get this horse out of the gate if I'm constantly having to defend myself against all of you people. That's what I hear. You will feel challenged. You will have to defend yourself. And I feel like you will feel some frustration, in particular energetically. With all these knights on the table, you want to be creative. You want to be productive, and you want to be passionately driven. But some of you may be stifled in some way. Yeah. The most important action that's going to come in for you, Sag, in the middle of the month is the Page of Cups in reverse and Temperance in reverse. Okay, I think you're having a hard time determining the purpose of something. Page of Cups in reverse, some of you have a wounded inner child that's causing you to feel somewhat out of balance. If any of you feel as though you need to open up and be vulnerable with a person, you won't do that. If any of you owe anyone an apology, I think you might not want to. Or someone won't do that with you. I also see that some of you, the Page of Cups is usually getting invited to something or inviting someone else to it. Some of you may bow out of something that you were going to explore in an emotional way. You're just not sure that it's right for you. Or someone may withdraw some sort of invitation from you. Try to be patient and determine the purpose moving forward. I think you're running hot and cold, and I think you're feeling vulnerable. Watch out for being pouty or immature and going off by yourself. If you did that in the past, it's because you were unrealistic. This lesson may come back again to be relearned, and that's not the way to deal with a power struggle. If you were waiting for an apology from someone, they're not feeling the soulmate vibe, and you might not get it. It's okay to move on. Yeah. The way you see yourself is interesting. The Ten of Cups to the Six of Swords in reverse. You see yourself as the Ten of Cups. This may speak to your childhood, your family. It's this beautiful emotional stability. But there's some sort of a transition that needs to be taking place for you, and you're struggling with that. You may feel as though you have some unfinished business, or you're having a hard time with a personal transition, moving on from a place or a relationship where there was a lot of stability. And it's hard to move away from it because it's still here. You're in some kind of a personal transition that's difficult for you. You may miss family. You may miss a place that you lived 5 to 10 years ago, or maybe more. You may feel as though you have unfinished business with members of a tribe or a collective or your family at this time. You can move on. You'll still be the same person. Perhaps you're afraid it may change the relationship in some way. Because I have the Page of Cups here with the Ten of Cups. This could be familial, in particular with a father. Yeah. But in your environment, hidden factors that you're not aware of, you may or may not be aware that are influencing everything right now in the middle of the month. I have the Sun in reverse for the way a person sees themselves. The way they feel is the Ace of Swords in reverse, and their action towards you is the Five of Swords in reverse. You could be dealing with a Leo. I have Leo, Aries, Virgo. I have a King of Swords. I have Sag here on the table. So the sun is going down on something. Someone lacks in an optimism and a clarity when they would otherwise have quite a bit of it. With the sun in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse, whoever this is, Sagittarius, there's not going to be a breakthrough in the middle of the month. This person has not had that light bulb aha moment. They're seeking an inner truth. I don't think they have all the information that they need. They lack in a clarity. They lack in giving you an answer of some kind. But the Five of Swords in reverse suggests that they might be afraid to approach it this time because they don't want to fight. And it looks like you're feeling pretty vulnerable and you don't want to fight either. You might be afraid of a fight. Stand up for yourself. You have the high ground. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, tell me just a little bit more. I thought maybe a court card would come out to give us an idea of who it was. I didn't get any court cards. I said, how does this person feel further about Sagittarius? Nine of Swords, I don't know what to do with Sag. Eight of Cups, I'm emotionally avoidant. Four of Swords, I'm not doing anything. Or this person's worried or stressed out about something. I'm seeing I can't even with you. I'm stressed out. This person may also be sick as well with the Nine and the Four of Swords. For them, life may be kind of a headache right now. They may be somewhat triggered, so they just can't give you an answer that you want. They also may think that will be some kind of a fight with you. You may be feeling that way too, because the way you're feeling right now is they're not doing a whole lot. There's not a lot of action between the two of you. This is triggering possibly an old childhood wound for you, you guys. They want me to tell you one more time. Was there a significant moment in your life where you were very unrealistic and maybe over-romanticized something or made something a bigger deal out of it than it was, or it fizzled out really quickly? That might be happening again. It's affecting your strength of character and your drive and your productivity. You can get that back into balance, but you've got to move on from something here with the Six of Swords. But the way you're feeling is the King of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Wow. Okay, so first of all, some of you just don't want to talk to an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Or even my ladies, you can be in King energy where you're like, I am the truth. The sword of discernment, I'm not holding the sword of discernment. I am the sword of discernment. You're going to be very logical, very practical, and very strategic. Stiff upper lip, this is how it is. I cut through to the truth. I stand up for truth. I'm not going to show you an ounce of emotion this week, people. I'm in charge. Yeah, he did come in the upright. So you're trying to come at everyone in life correct, but I don't think you're going to put up with any bullshit right now. With the 7 and the 9 of Wands, I think life is a little bit of a battlefield for you right now. And it's a test of faith and it's a test of boundaries. I do see a bit of a stifling energy, but I don't have the Magician anywhere in the upright or the reverse, so I don't think you're incapable of manifesting. Interesting cards came out for your final outcome, and I clarified them too. Your final outcome is the 3 of Pentacles in reverse and the 7 of Swords. Sagittarius, what are you trying to get away from? Now, this could be energy around you. I'm reading for you, but this could give you information about a person coming towards you as well that you need clarity on. The 3 of Pentacles in the reverse and the 7 of Swords. Well, I think you feel like you need to work alone this week. I think some of you feel like you're not being recognized and rewarded for what you bring to the table. I don't think it's that you don't want to cooperate. I just think that you feel like there's a productivity that is stalled. You yourself may feel like you work better alone. I feel you guys being like, I don't need any help with this project this week. I am team leader. Everyone else leave me alone. That's what I'm seeing here for you. Or this may be a person that because nothing is happening with, you're like, that's fine. I don't have anything to say to you either. So there's no productivity happening here. There's no more building, learning, and growing. And you may need to sneak out of this situation. I also think, though, with the 7 of Swords, you feel like you need to tread very lightly in a situation and act upon your own behalf because you feel like it's just not working anymore. Now, I think Sagittarius has so many positive traits, but one of your shadow traits is you have a difficult time when you're stressed out dealing with sticky, heavy emotions. And sometimes I notice Sag will sneak out of it. I also see you turn around and fight for what you want sometimes. So watch out for sneaking away from something, be accountable. But I think that you do want to be accountable. Here's why. I think the 7 of Swords is about treading lightly and saying, look, this isn't working for me anymore. And the next action you take, you're going to have to be kind of careful and on your toes. You want to take what belongs to you and not share. So I clarified this and I got the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, and Justice. Okay. Either you want to have a very important conversation with someone about something that will bring a lot of balance and fairness. This person could be a Libra. It could be about a contract of some kind where a relationship is going. Or like the Justice is often contracts, something going down in a court of law, lower court of law in particular. But the 7 of Wands, you feel guarded and you may hear a lot of messages about it. Actually, what I see here is I think you're trying to talk to someone and that involves standing up for yourself. You're trying to communicate with them, but they will not communicate with you. You may have to stand up for yourself. You may also go before a judge in the middle of the month and they tell you that you were going 80 miles an hour and you're like, no, I was doing 70 and the speed limit was 75. If you talk to the judge, they'll be fair. Just tell them the truth. The Seven of Swords. I do feel like you're trying to have a productive conversation and defend yourself at the same time, or someone's just having none of it. Conversely, someone might be trying to make something right with you. They're going to barrage you with messages and you're like, no, no. Seven of Wands twice, Nine of Wands too. You're standing in your power. You're like, I'm not feeling this. And I think it's going to come down to a power struggle with the Emperor in reverse and the Five of Swords. You may have to stand up for yourself. And it may be because you're like, look, I'm putting so much work into something and I have a lot of foresight here too. Okay, there's a lot of depth to what I'm doing. I would like to have control over this. I will buck the establishment and I'm driven towards a new beginning. I want individual abundance and I'll use my own resources because I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. And frankly, I'm done fighting with you. That's what I hear you saying to people. Don't be generous unless you absolutely have to be, Sag. And let go of these old habits. Stay on your journey. You're a born leader, even in moments where there's a power struggle, but definitely in the middle of the month, you're going to be pausing and thinking about how emotionally intelligent you've been and maybe seeing the energetic vampires around you, whether you want to see it or not. It might be hard for you to see. Yeah, a lot to be learned though, definitely. All right, Sag, that's the middle of February. Hope it resonates and hope it helps. Link to my website for private services, again, is down in the description below. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Sag. Take care. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.